and welcome to another edition of the Supla. I am Andy Kwan, and with me as always is Carmine Antonelli.
Yes, indeed, and for the first time since I've come back, we have more than just me and Andy. We finally have Keelan Balderson.
He's alive!
Yes, no more where's Keelan. And that's not all, Andy. We also have, for the first time on the Supla, my co-host for Total Divas Review, Glenn Fielding.
Holy shit, this is real, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I'm actually on the main show for the first time ever.
And we're still not done.
What?
Yet to debut with his new show, The Supla Editorial, Sam Brooks. I said Sam Brooks.
You know what I love about Goat Simulator?
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right.
What do you love about Goat Simulator, Sam?
That it's completely accurate and real to life.
Exactly. I've paid £6 for that shitty game, and it don't even work on my computer. What the fuck?
Can we stop talking about Goat Simulator?
Yeah, there's fucking goats in it.
Okay, so I hear CM Punk might be back soon. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, nothing else happened this weekend other than Goat Simulator, did it?
Nothing happened at all. Or am
Apparently
I lying?
goats rule the world.
This will be our official WrestleMania review episode of the Supla, along with usual news, but that will be taking up a good chunk of the show this week.
As well as goats. Don't forget goats. Lots
No
of
goats. Stop with goats.
What?
Stop talking about goats. So, going from goats to super sad news, Andy, our first headline is pretty fucking depressing.
Yep, this is pretty bad. The Ultimate Warrior has sadly died. The Ultimate Warrior passed away at 54 years old, just one day after appearing on WWE Raw following his induction into the WWE Hall of Fame. Warrior collapsed whilst clutching his chest outside an Arizona hotel around 6 p.m. on Tuesday evening. He was walking to his car with his wife Dana, and tragically he was pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital. WWE.com has a statement where it says WWE is shocked and deeply saddened to learn of the passing of one of the most iconic WWE stars ever. We are grateful that just a few days ago, Warrior had the opportunity to take his rightful place in the WWE Hall of Fame and was able to appear at WrestleMania 30 and Monday Night Raw to address his legions of fans.
This is one of those wrestler deaths that is insane to hear about. Because he was literally there the night before on Raw, and he sounded fine, and he was talking to everyone, and it was great, and then he just died. Like, what the fuck happened? How does that happen?
Just such strange timing. Even his final promo on Raw, it's just some kind of metaphysical bullshit, like I don't understand. Just completely bizarre.
Yeah. Like you said, the promo was just creepy now, looking back at it.
Good. Like, I don't want to repeat some of the words, but it's just like, when the blood doesn't go through anymore and all this stuff, I'm like, oh my god, what? No, please God, no.
And it always seems like in wrestling, this kind of strangeness happens.
Yeah. There's never like a normal death. Always weird.
Well, there was one person who couldn't shut her face about this, and that person was Nancy Grace, because she's such a fucking brilliant human being. Unsurprisingly, she made steroids a topic of her Ultimate Warrior coverage yesterday evening, or whenever the hell you're listening to this. She spoke of rumours, and I put this in inverted commas, that steroid abuse and, again, in inverted commas, illegal drugs caused his death. She also had DDP on as a guest and did her best to undermine and ignore everything he was saying. Also, she seems to think Owen Hart died via steroids. So, you are a journalist, right? That's what you are, correct? You are a journalist. So you're supposed to get your actual facts right before you start gobbing off like a twat. You see, that's what I do. I get my facts straight before I start gobbing off like a twat. So, congratulations. You are a complete bitch. Get off my fucking TV. Go away.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
She's obviously, basically, she heard about the news, she sent her stupid interns to go do the least bit of research possible. Oh, Tamori, oh, steroids, oh. Like, she lists him as like a WWE superstar, as if he was still on the roster, and obviously looking at Warrior, knowing his past, it seems like he died of a heart attack. Steroids probably played a role in that. But just to have this moron who doesn't have any idea what she's talking about, she's not someone with credibility to be talking about an issue like that. When she doesn't even know like who he is, she's pretending that she knows who DDP is when he's coming on the show, and it's just cringy crap. Get off the television.
Look at all these other wrestlers that
worst?
died of steroid abuse. Like that one guy who never died of steroid abuse. Like, really? That's just the nail in the coffin for her entire argument.
But her entire argument is stupid anyway. Steroids are a problem. Well, no, if she did some actual fucking research, anything, a Wikipedia page, fucking Google, anything, she would find out pretty quickly that they have a strict drug fucking testing policy and a wellness policy.
Yeah, and Warrior is 54 years old. He's not been in the ring. He had one match 5 years ago in Italy or something against Orlando Jordan. This isn't a current superstar that's on the roster that's pressuring himself every night. It's just an old guy that came back for the Hall of Fame and then tragically died.
Yeah. It's like he would have no reason to be using them right now. It's just the whole thing's stupid. And like you said, the fact that DDP was there and she was just completely swiping away everything he was saying is like, all right, what, you just here to listen to yourself talk about how wrong you are, you stupid bitch?
Yeah, and she just makes nonsensical phrases like accusations of illegal drug use and steroids. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He wasn't a partier. He wasn't one of the people that were always on pain pills and things like that. He's never been a fuck up in that sense. Yeah. And she just, accusations of drug use. Like, what accusations? From who? From you? Like, just making shit up.
Well, the look on his face, I'd say it was into heroin. Like, shut up. But anyway.
Stupid bitch. So anyway, someone who actually might know what they're talking about is a police spokesman. Sergeant Mark Clark made the following statement regarding Ultimate Warrior's death. At this point in the investigation, it seems a catastrophic medical condition caused his death. The most likely scenario is that he suffered a heart attack, but nothing is official until his autopsy.
Yeah, there you go. There's some facts and reasonable speculations.
Yes.
It's like, they didn't just point at a former wrestler and go, hey, steroids, there you go.
I know we've talked about just at the beginning there that the timing of it was eerie, but
oh yeah,
when you think about a heart attack, you have to look at Warrior, who's not been with the WWE in years. He's a controversial figure. And just think about travelling to the Hall of Fame, having to face all of your former peers again, having to give a massive speech, having to deal with fans left, right and centre, appearing on Raw when you've not been on television for years. If he was suffering from some kind of underlying heart problem, the stress of that weekend would probably have exacerbated things. So
yeah, he was on national television for 3 nights straight. And that's crazy to a guy who hasn't been on national TV in 18 years. So, yeah, that could very well be a possibility.
I need to ask, though, was it true that they said that he had an enlarged heart?
I don't know for sure if that's true.
I think there's a possibility of that happening because, obviously, he made his career on his physique, and we all know that he got that physique from steroids, and he's admitted that in the past. But they're not going to know that until the autopsy, so...
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to take a lighter turn. So it says here we will start with the pre-show. We're not going to skip that.
Well, thank God the Usos won. Because if any of these other people actually won, I would probably fucking start crying.
Well, I wouldn't have been too upset if the Americans had won, but now that they're broken up, spoiler. And, I'm still a huge fan of the Usos, and they did just get the titles. So, yeah, it's a good thing that they retained. But their opponents were the real Americans, Los Matadores, for some fucking reason, and Rybaxel.
Why is Rybaxel still a thing?
I don't know.
Why? My God, why? Anyway, no one saw this, so who cares?
Yeah.
So, in an opening match, and I never thought I'd say this about a Triple H match in my entire life, Triple H was defeated by Daniel Bryan in the opening contest, which meant that Daniel Bryan was going to be in the main event of WrestleMania, but Triple H was like, LOL, fuck this shit, and he hit Bryan with a chair.
Yeah,
in the
arm.
The whole match.
It was like, this was a really good match, surprisingly, and the best part was that he won completely clean. Like, nothing stupid happened.
Oh, thank God.
Even Stephanie didn't get involved and help Triple H. It was all completely clean.
Just one thing. God damn, Stephanie. Damn.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was a great way to open the show. It was a really good match, and the result was what people actually wanted, and it wasn't something stupid. So I liked it.
And what about that entrance? What about that entrance?
God.
It was like a cross between Scott Steiner, the Road Warriors, and Skeletor.
That was the first thing I thought was Skeletor. It was.
I like how he has to try and top his entrance every year, so he just thinks, what can I do to make this year even more like ego boosting? Oh, I know, make everything gold.
And lasers! Lasers everywhere!
Gold, lasers, and ladies. But I've heard everything about this entrance. Like, people say it was so stupid. Other people have said it was freaking awesome. I'm just like, it was a Triple H entrance at WrestleMania.
It was very, very, very similar to his entrance from WrestleMania 22, where he like rose up out of the ground, sitting on the throne, dressed up like Conan the Barbarian. He didn't have like the whole king face mask and all that.
Yeah, it was very similar to that.
I like to think that he has to, like, you know, if he ever does compete again, then he'll come out in like a blood dragon type style with just a big rubber beard and like an eye patch or something.
But at least he didn't come out like he didn't come out like he was like in jizz like he was the other year. Like he decides to rub
what
jizz on
was that
himself.
stuff?
What?
I still don't know what that was.
He rubbed semen all over himself for some unknown fucking reason. Like,
it was
hold on to the game!
And he burned himself with it too.
Like, this is how you intimidate Brock Lesnar. Just come out drenched in jizz.
Yeah, it was somebody's bright idea to shoot dry ice at him and not realise that when it touches your skin, it's going to burn and leave a mark.
That's what that was?
Yeah.
Well, they did that 2 years. They did it at WrestleMania 28, but they actually got it right that year. So what happened last year?
God,
I don't know.
Somebody probably got fired.
Himself for some reason.
Hey, this way worked. Let's do it completely different. Fuck it up. So yeah, that's. Anyone else have anything else to say about this match?
It was awesome.
It was good. It was very good.
It's what we want. It's what we wanted.
Honestly,
and we got nothing less. That's all I'm gonna say.
The pop when he hit the running knee was awesome. It was such a good moment, and it wasn't even the end of the show. So yeah, we can move on to the Shield versus the New Age Outlaws and Kane, which was
I didn't even see this. I went to get a drink and I came back and the Shield was celebrating.
It was a complete squash match, but it was a good one.
It was a good one.
I liked it.
They made the Shield look really, really strong.
Like, even Ambrose starting the match with Kane, Ambrose was whooping his ass, and it was awesome.
That's how it should be. The New Age Outlaws. Billy Gunn is 50.
Yeah.
If fucking Billy Gunn started kicking the shit out of fucking Seth Rollins, I would have just put my head in my hands and gone, why in the fuck? The guy suffered an injury taking his double. I don't even know what the fuck this was.
The double triple powerbomb.
I swear, fucking Roman Reigns had a mid-orgasm just trying to fucking give this thing a name. Like, that's not how I orgasm.
JBL called it the 100-year powerbomb.
Yeah.
That is stupid.
Yeah, I like the double triple powerbomb because it sounds so ridiculously amazing. But
exactly, it's beautiful.
It was a squash match, but it was a good one.
Yeah, I did like the fact that they ended it quick just to prove that the Shield are obviously a cut above the New Age Outlaws. It reminds me back in the day when the New Age Outlaws themselves were coming up as a tag team and they basically fed the Road Warriors to them, and they put the Road Warriors through a table, and they were like, look at us, we're the new Age Outlaws. Now all these years later, the Shield are just dominating, doing the same kind of thing, and that's how you should utilize old talent.
That's how roster progression is supposed to work. Not making the New Age Outlaws your current tag team champions. But, you know. So that match was good. Anyone else have anything else to say about it?
I think that match, when I originally watched that match, I originally thought it started and it ended really quick because I guess they thought the Daniel Bryan and Triple H match might have gone on a little bit too long, but I guess that might not have been the case.
No. I should probably also mention, when I first saw WrestleMania 30, I was watching it live at work, which means like I missed bits and pieces because I was working. And so I was doing something when that match started because I saw Outlaws come out and then the Shield interrupted them. And I was like, okay, this match is going on. This should probably take like 10 minutes maybe. I'll go do something. And then I came back and Roman Reigns is sitting there posing that because they won already. It was like, what? But when I rewatched it on the network, it was freaking cool. So I have no complaints.
Yeah, that was another thing. I noticed they rushed their entrances in that one. So I figured, okay, they're definitely running out of time for this one.
I guess you could say the entrances were rushed, but I think that was another step in like the Shield doesn't give a shit because they know they're better, so they're going to interrupt your entrance.
Right.
That's how it came off to me, but it might have been rushed. Maybe they were crunched for time.
Yeah, because then Kane came out before the Shield even made it over the barricade.
That is true. Maybe they were crunched for time. I don't know. But the next match that was surprisingly good was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Well, you say good. The start of it was the most hideous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Any battle royal that when you start with 30 people, it's gonna be a mess.
Holy fuck, it was bad.
Once they started weeding people out, I liked it.
I swear Kofi fucked up that spot. He was just like, my feet are on the stairs, I swear. It's like,
I don't even care. That was an amazing spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was literally supposed to fall on his back, but...
Oh, yeah, maybe he was supposed to land on his feet. Yeah. But that was cool. So we should probably say who the winner was. Cesaro, after he lifted the Big Show, held him for a couple seconds.
Walked with him.
Threw him. Yeah, and threw him over the ropes.
Take that, Hulk Hogan!
The pop for that was insane.
That is now probably... They've tried to recreate the Andre Hulk thing. They tried to do it with...
Cena.
Kane's... Yeah,
Kane and the Great Khali.
That's the one I was going for. They've tried to recreate this over and over again, and, you know, I think they finally nailed it now. They finally actually got, because the Big Show is a fucking giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've actually found somebody that has real strength, not just, oh, I'm Ryback, I can't move.
Yeah. And you can actually go back and criticize the Hogan and Andre powerbomb because when he picked them up, Andre was just kind of pushing himself up, and then the momentum, he fell, you know? There was no real work from Hogan's side. With this, Cesaro picked him up, held him, and then threw him. It was ridiculous.
It was a beautiful moment.
It was great. And I said going into this match that Big Show shouldn't win just because he's the big guy and it's named after a big guy. Rey Mysterio shouldn't win just because he's the little guy and it's named after a big guy. But the way Cesaro won, based on the name of the Battle Royal, was awesome.
What do we think about that poor trophy that they spent so long making? They showed a video of the guy painting each individual bit and designing it, and then on Raw it just goes bonk. Smash.
Well, I knew from the second Cesaro won it, it was gonna end up broken somehow.
There's never been a trophy that they've ever made that's never been fucking broken in some way.
Yeah, and Swagger tried to keep breaking it. Like, he broke it the first time, and he's like, that's not good enough. Smash. It's like, yeah. But the Battle Royal shocked me. It was really good at the halfway point onwards.
And you gotta wonder at this point, how the fuck did we not see what was about to happen coming?
What do you mean in this Battle Royal? Or the next match?
The match after this match, because the next match was John Cena against Bray Wyatt, and guess what? LOL, Cena won.
Yeah, but because this was another match I missed the ending of it, and I missed a lot of the crucial points in it, and so I came back and I heard that Cena had won. I was like, oh, really? But when I rewatched the match, this might have been my favorite match of the night. The storytelling in this match was unbelievable.
Brilliant theatricality.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to turn. I really thought he was going to turn. But
yeah, it actually convinces you for a second. It convinces you for a second that this thing that we've known for years is never going to happen. It convinces you for a second it might actually happen right now. And that's incredible in itself.
Because I bared in mind the number. Like, this is WrestleMania 30, so there's ever a fucking time to ever turn him. Holy shit, do it at 30.
Yeah.
But
even without that, because obviously he didn't turn, but I don't mind at all that Wyatt lost. Because he did what I asked. If for anyone who watched Total Divas review before WrestleMania, I said, as long as he can kick out of one attitude adjustment. And he did.
He still looks strong. That's all that matters. And
he hit a surprise Sister Abigail on Cena. It was awesome. And that moment where Cena went for the 5-knuckle shuffle and the camera guy perfectly got Bray Wyatt out of frame. And then the next thing you see, he's in the exorcist position and Cena falls on his ass in fear. That was so good.
Is it really bad that I yelled out the word derp when I was watching that?
Yes, because they don't say derp.
Upside down, derp, and it's just like, ah!
They don't say derp.
Derp.
Why? Stop! No, they don't. No, they
Like,
don't.
I have to agree, they don't.
Thank you. Finally.
What? No!
Finally!
They say no! For Christ's sake, they say
Oh,
derp!
yeah,
And then
breaking
it's like the
news,
guy...
the Bray Wyatt cosplayer likes the Wyatts. Who'd have thought?
Oh, finally, someone agrees with me.
I've been saying this to you for months. Hey, I like the Wyatts.
Yeah, I know, but no one's ever agreed on the stance that they don't say derp.
Well, it's not so much
It's a
that they
cutting
say
off of the
derp.
screen.
Yeah, it's not so much that they say derp, it's that they stop the derp from being said. Because they cut the sound away. So then it makes a whoop noise.
But back to the match. Actually, I want to bring up the entrance real quick. That entrance was awesome. With
That's
Bray
how
Wyatt.
you use a band at WrestleMania. One that's actually playing a theme that's relevant. They're into it. They've got masks on because they're just cool.
Yeah, it was like a voodoo thing for New Orleans. It was so good.
The thing is, they kept the focus. They still kept the focus of the entrance on the Wyatts instead of themselves.
Yeah, occasionally they would pan to the band for the cameras, but it was still focusing on the Wyatts. And then the lights went out. Wyatt starts screaming at the crowd, and they're cheering him on. Oh, it was so good. It was such a good entrance.
Some of
But-
them wondered about
in their
live
hand.
entrance themes.
What
It's
do you...
like,
Wait. I'm sorry, Brooks. Andy, what did you just say?
You're hearing things, mate. I don't know
What were those lyrics you just fucking said?
He's got the whole derp in his hands. He's got the whole derp in his hands. That should be what he says now. Not the whole
Andy-
world, the whole derp.
Andy, if we weren't in different countries, I'd strangle you right now. The main thing I liked about this match is Bray Wyatt's character is supposed to be creepy, and there were points in this match that were legitimately creepy. And I like the Wyatts. When Cena first started getting aggressive and he just beats the shit out of Bray in the corner, and then he walks away and Bray's laughing hysterically, that was actually creepy, and I loved it. I think this was my favorite match out of the entire card.
Yeah, I think it told an awesome story in the ring. For everything that the build lacked, they filled in the gaps in the match. Because
Yeah.
I didn't even grasp that he was really trying to make John
Make him
Cena like
turn.
evil or bring out the
Yeah.
evil in him. During the build, they were just kind of referring to his legacy because the Eminem song said legacy, and I was like, what are they really getting at? I don't understand. But in the match,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
something I have always wondered about live entrance theme performances at WrestleMania, they're always grounded in some form of reality. Like, for example, Triple H has Motorhead, John Cena, I think, had MGK a while back. And they're both, normal people. But you have this cult from the swamp performing a song. What, are they, friends with the band? What is going on here? How are they connected?
Yeah, that's true. But one of the things I liked about it is when Harper gets blasted through the barricade by Cena, and there's this actual dynamic for a second that I don't think we've seen among the Wyatts, where you see Bray actually cares about Harper and Rowan. He runs up to Cena, steps the shit out of him, and then checks Harper. Is like, "Are you okay?" It's like, oh, so they're not all that creepy. They're just, they're creepy, but I mean, they're kind of normal in their own sense. So that's nice.
You go back to that band thing. I think it would have been cool if, I know Wyatt's kind of cryptic, but at the same time he's also just completely egomaniacal, and I could see that perhaps this is all an act, and like you catch him backstage talking to the band and like, oh, we need it like this, we need you to put these masks on, we need you to do this or that. I think that would be kind of cool, just to show him that he's just a complete prick, and part of it is just an act.
I prefer the image of him like in his shack, like on a Mac, going through iTunes, just looking for an entrance theme, and he finds one, and he's like, "Yes, I will use this at WrestleMania."
This is a song about suicide that has an amazing bass line. I like it.
What? It's about
You
suicide?
don't. Andy, shut. Yeah, it's about a suicide, Brooks.
How the hell?
Yeah, go listen to the lyrics. It's really, I don't want to get too into it, but it is, and it's
You
awesome.
can find him in amongst the pigeons in the square.
Sounds like he just loves feeding pigeons and he shouts derp all the time.
Mary Poppins or what? What's going on here?
No,
Bray
the original.
Wyatt is Mary Derpy Poppins.
He needs to come down with an umbrella.
He's
No,
not
that's Willow. That's
Oh,
Willow. That's
damn it.
Willow. You got that wrong. It's like, we must go this way, but we
Like
must
in a
go that way.
Sting entrance, but with an umbrella, so it looks like he's floating down.
Oh, I thought you were gonna bring up Shawn Michaels' WrestleMania entrance from like 12 or something.
Same sort of thing.
But so this next match is gonna be the controversial one.
Yeah, this is the one. In 21 and 1 because Brock Lesnar.
Nice.
See what I mean? Segway fucking king. Brock Lesnar defeated The Undertaker. Yes, I just fucking said that. The Undertaker lost when Brock Lesnar hit his third F5 of the match, pinning The Undertaker and ending The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania.
Now I'm lying on the cold hard ground. Trouble.
What the fuck is happening?
This
Now I'm gonna.
went everywhere. People that I would never even think would have ever heard of WrestleMania were talking about how The Undertaker lost and he wasn't supposed to, and all this kind of stuff. This just sent shockwaves through the whole world.
Because the video package before the match kind of said it all. There's one thing at WrestleMania that was, up until now, a guarantee. Even though it was, a match that was put everything on the line, it was pretty much a guarantee that every year Undertaker wins. And to see a part-timer who's been losing half of his matches since he came back end the streak was nuts. And the faces on the fans who were there says it all.
Especially that one guy who was wearing the glasses.
The meme.
Everyone knows, yeah, that guy now. He's just like, like, what the fuck am I gonna do with my life?
Okay, I don't think he's dying. Now I'm gonna let everyone else say what they thought about the result first, because I'm probably gonna have a different opinion than most. Glenn, you're huge into the streak match every year, so
Yes, definitely. Well, despite what people think about Brock Lesnar, it is what The Undertaker wanted. I mean, Taker apparently had this planned out for a couple years now. He showed up at a UFC event a couple years ago and ran into Lesnar, I guess, right after he won his UFC World Title match. He's like, "You want to do it?"
When he said you want to do it, I honestly literally thought he just wanted a weird form with like fucking Sable, Chemical, Brock, and The Undertaker. And they're like, "Want to do it?" And Brock's just walking past like, "What's wrong with you? You fucking tattooed, fucking ugly, wrinkly goblin motherfucker." No. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. He looked terrible during that match.
Undertaker?
Yeah, he looked... I mean, the match itself was really, really weak.
and he looked weak, and you could tell the fans knew that something was wrong. The crowd was dead throughout half that match.
I think the problem with that was apparently his concussion came really early on in the match, so basically Lesnar was just reminding him and carrying him through what they were supposed to be doing, and because he was just so out on his feet, they couldn't really take it to that next level that people would expect. And then he has to deliver like 3 F5s, completely just frying Undertaker's brain.
Yeah, because at the very end of the match, after the tombstone, he's picking him up right before he gets F5 for the 3rd time. You can see Undertaker saying, all right, it's over, end it. So there was a lot of issues with that match as it went on.
It's just a sad way to fucking end it, though, because he couldn't even do the last ride. He couldn't even do the fucking old school move he does without looking like he's going to fall off and fucking kill himself. You could have just gone, you know what, Brock, we'll do this again next year. Just don't drop it on my fucking head next time.
I think part of Undertaker's decision is that he thinks it's more realistic that someone like Brock Lesnar would beat him. I don't think Undertaker's very egotistical. He's obviously old school. He's going to go out on a pin. And really, who else is there? If he can't make it another year and he can't do the match justice, then it really had to be now. Because Roman Reigns is not really there yet. He probably would be next year, but maybe Undertaker can't make it till next year. So, I mean, it's really the only result that we could have.
Yeah. Rumors from earlier this year said Undertaker himself wanted to fight Bryan, maybe. But since Bryan had other stuff going on, that wasn't an option. So since Taker and Lesnar are friends in real life, he's like, all right, you want to do it? So I don't have too much of a problem with the ending, actually. And because there's a point where you can, like, from the beginning of the match up until the concussion, you can almost pinpoint where it happens. Because Undertaker's doing his usual stuff. There's a point where Lesnar clotheslines him over the ropes and he lands on his feet, and he's still got that normal Undertaker look in his eyes. Then after the concussion, you can tell everything goes downhill, and he's not really able to do anything, and Lesnar's just kind of stall punching.
Well, apparently, from what I read, the concussion happened when Brock did like a single leg takedown or something like that.
Was it the point when the Undertaker tried to like boot him on the outside, and then like Brock grabs hold of his leg and just throws him on the fucking floor?
Yeah, I think it was that.
Because you can tell from about that point onwards, it's like, oh fuck, I suddenly think I am at the Silver Dome for some reason, and I have no fucking idea what's going on. And I completely agree with Keelan here, because the Undertaker's 49, okay? Next year he would be 50. This is like Sting territory of shit, right? So, let's say Roman Reigns wins. How old is Roman Reigns? Does anyone know?
29, I think.
I thought he was 28, but it's somewhere around there.
Alright, so he will be in his late 20s by next year. It's not going to make him look good if he beats a 50-year-old in his late 20s. I'm sorry, but I know it's the streak. I know it was great. I know it's lovely, but he's nearly 50. It doesn't make any fucking logical sense. Why wouldn't a guy like Brock Lesnar beat the fuck out of him? Why wouldn't someone beat him? He's old as fuck. And the thing is, even if Roman Reigns... let's say in this hypothetical fucking world that the streak is still alive and it's Roman Reigns against The Undertaker next year and Roman Reigns beats The Undertaker, who cares? Who fucking really cares?
I also think they wouldn't want Undertaker to lose the streak to somebody who's kind of up and coming, and it's just kind of like a face. Brock Lesnar is a fucking asshole, and it makes more sense to lose and for people to be upset at somebody they hate than somebody who they want to cheer.
Yeah, like going into that match when Lesnar came out, there was almost no reaction from the crowd. They didn't care. Because going into this match, everyone, me included, said this is one of the easiest Undertaker matches to predict ever. It's going to be so obvious. He's going to get F5'd, but he's going to win. Well, jeez. Now...
Holy shit, swerve.
Yeah. Now Lesnar gets booed out of every building he goes into, which is what was supposed to happen. and everyone like kind of woke up. So
And the best part of this is, okay, Taker's probably now retired. He ain't coming back. He's done. Right, fair enough. So I'm not going to steal this. I think Bryan Alvarez originally said this. What you have now is a situation where you've got the guy who beat the fucking streak. So then if someone beats the guy who beat the streak, holy fuck, then that guy, whoever beats Lesnar, must look fucking brilliant. So it's kind of continuing the streak in a sort of weird quasi fucking way where you can be like, right, so he beat the guy who beat the Undertaker, so that guy must be fucking great.
And somebody tweeted it. I think it was an indie wrestler tweeted, but he basically said that the Undertaker has given Brock Lesnar his best booking since he returned to the company, because basically, Brock Lesnar's been losing. He's had no real direction, and he's not really the monster that he was when he first returned. But now he's beat the Undertaker. Holy shit, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Also, Paul Heyman's promo on that Raw was the greatest fucking thing in fucking ever.
It was something, man. But
thank God too it was Paul Heyman, right? Because think about it, if some other shitty, crappy manager, right, who wasn't Paul Heyman, had the job to cut the promo after the fucking streak had died, if it was anyone else but Paul Heyman.
Well, they didn't even have anyone. Just Brock Lesnar. Brock smash, raw.
Yeah. Like that's what he did. That would have been fucking horrible. That would have been the worst thing. Yeah, he can't. Why can't he scream like a normal person? Like he got this fuck off built shithouse. He looks like he could fucking break me in half with his little fucking finger. And then when he fucking roars, it's like what is that? He sounds like a fucking goat. Related it all back to goats.
Stop talking about goats. But anyway, I think the way they did it, even if it was out of necessity, I think they did it in a way that worked. Because because of what Keelan was saying, since he's come back, he's lost half of his matches, and he doesn't look like the Brock Lesnar we're used to. He's still Brock fucking Lesnar. The guy who actually won the UFC Heavyweight Championship. The guy who actually did all this other shit. He's still crazy, like, ridiculous. So, I mean, it makes sense. It makes more sense than people initially gave it credit for.
I would love it if they bring up there's some kind of statistic that, like, Joe Rogan said in UFC where when Brock had that fucking intestine disease and when he was fighting, he was only fighting about 20 to 25% his actual ability. And then he got the fucking operation and he got cleared of whatever he had. So now he's at 100%. Why doesn't Paul Heyman go, when Brock Lesnar was only about 20% at his like peak physical fitness and health and fucking physical well-being, he fucking knocked out Randy fucking Couture. Why did you fuckers not think he could beat the piss of a 49-year-old dead person?
Yeah, what do you think about? Because there's obviously two ways you can look at this. You can look at it like WWE shouldn't be putting over this guy that's sort of an outsider that comes from UFC. We shouldn't be making UFC look kind of more important than WWE. But then on the flip side, you've got this kind of reality era. If you've got casual fans tuning in, they hear, oh, Brock Lesnar's going to fight The Undertaker. If The Undertaker won, it would look really goofy and it'd just be like, oh, typical WWE scripted crap. But when you've got Brock Lesnar, who's this former UFC champion that beats The Undertaker, and everyone's saying, like, who aren't even fans, they're talking about how, oh, The Undertaker lost and he wasn't scripted to lose and all this kind of stuff. It's created a sort of buzz within the casual audience. So, I mean, you can look at it two ways. WWE are putting over UFC, but they're also really pulling eyes onto the product.
But also, another thing you got to think about is the streak is a waste of a match at WrestleMania. It's a waste of half an hour at WrestleMania. Let's face facts for 15 seconds. Only for the past maybe 4 to 5 years has Undertaker matches actually been good, because he's had some right shit matches at WrestleMania. Mark Henry comes to mind, the A-Train and the Big Show, and then Nathan Jones came in for some reason comes to mind. You know what I mean? Like, he's had some really, really, really shit matches at WrestleMania. And now, if the Undertaker wrestles again, if he does, I'm convinced. I'm fucking convinced that's it. He's done. But if he still thinks he's got a couple of matches left in him, so let's say he does fight Sting, which I'm gonna throw up if I think about again. But if he fights anybody, at least it's now not LOL Undertaker wins as usual. It's oh shit, Undertaker actually stands a chance of losing for once, and it's more unpredictable. And unpredictability inevitably is the best thing ever.
People are saying that this is the end, but they've not said that really. I mean, it's just the end of the streak. I think they could still have one more match and build it as Undertaker's retirement match. So you can have somebody go over as the person that beat Undertaker in his last match, or you have Undertaker go out with a win, like he's sort of like last hurrah, and then,
Like a kind of half redemption.
yeah.
And I'm sorry, the guy has been undefeated for 21 fucking years.
That was what I wanted to bring up, because people are so mad. Like, there are so many people that are like angry that the streak is over, because it's like, oh, the streak's dead. It's like, no, you morons, you don't understand what a streak is. A streak, by definition, is seeing how many times an outcome can happen in a row before something else stops it. There were still 21 straight victories.
That's 21 years. That is nearly the amount of time I've been walking the face of this planet, for Christ's sake.
That part's never going away. It's just that Lesnar was the thing that cut it off. Now
Yeah,
it's just stopped at 21.
You know
It's
when
still 21.
Yeah, you know when Anderson Silva lost in UFC, right? Everyone didn't go, oh, Anderson Silva's fucked forever. No. It's Anderson fucking Silva, okay? He's still Jesus Christ. And the only fucking person to stop Anderson Silva was him breaking his own fucking leg.
Yeah.
No one's
That's
gone,
actually-
Anderson
that's
Silva
really
is
good.
shit.
That's a really good
people like-
comparison.
Oh yeah, and the other argument is, oh, it's not an even number. Like, that was my original argument, but the more I fucking sat there and thought about it, Anderson Silva didn't fucking, like, go, you know what, I'm gonna break my own leg in this fight. Like, no. Like, you didn't fucking do that. You didn't go,
He's just
you know what?
so OCD.
Yeah, he's like, I'm at 20. Punch me in the face, why? And it's like, oh god, I can't win again. I'm gonna break my own fucking leg. No, that didn't happen, did it? Right? So if you want it to be more realistic and we're in this reality era, have a random number. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And they've done it. So
yeah.
And speaking of Sting, that guy's got to be kicking himself, because WWE have shown interest for the past few years, and he's put it off. He's like, maybe I'll stay with TNA where it's comfortable. I don't have to do much. I'll put it off. And now it comes up to this year. The Undertaker's leaving, so he can't have that match. His tag team partner went and died, and so he didn't get to, see him again and catch up. He's got to be thinking, fuck's sake, why didn't I just go last year? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if he comes back now, what's he gonna do? Nothing.
Because there was that video that came out of him talking. I don't know where he was. He was talking in front of a group of people, and he says, because there's no context in the video because it's so short, but he just says, "I guess my new favorite number is 31," implying that he's going to be
card or something, would it?
Yeah,
I have no
that's
idea.
it's the event that at WrestleMania weekend there's this secondary event that kind of piggybacks off WrestleMania, and they have like their own kind of access with non-WWE talent like Sting's there, Goldberg, all that lot. It was over Mania weekend.
But he was obviously implying that he's going to be at WrestleMania 30, and of course everyone jumps to the conclusion, okay, now it's definite that Lesnar's going to lose because we're going to get Sting versus Taker at WrestleMania 31. Well, now I don't know if he's even going to be there, because if the original plan was Lesnar loses, then the next streak match is Sting, what the fuck are they going to do now? No one wants to see Sting versus Undertaker if there's not something big on the line.
I think basically what's going to happen is Sting is going to come in, he's going to get a Legends deal. They'll probably give him a DVD if they haven't already. Have they given him a DVD yet?
I don't think so.
No.
They'll probably give him a DVD. He'll get inducted into the Hall of Fame. But I can't see him. Who's he going to face? Like, everyone wanted that Undertaker match. Other than the Undertaker, nothing's really exciting. What is it going to be? Sting versus
Kane.
Cena, or there's just nothing to go on.
No. And the thing is,
Kane.
I think didn't Sting say the only match he ever wants to wrestle ever again is Sting versus the Undertaker? So it's just like, I don't even think Sting wants to wrestle again. It's just like, I literally think It was TNA that were like, "You gotta keep wrestling, Steve. You gotta keep wrestling." It's just like, no, I'm fucking 54.
What if Sting's last match is losing to Magnus? He's gonna he's gonna hate himself. He's gonna hate himself because he could have gone to WWE at so many different times, and he's just put it off and put it. I think he was scared. I think he was scared to go because he's never been in that locker room. He's never had to perform at that stage in his older career. Like, you can't blame him, but I think he was probably just scared to go and do all that because there's so much pressure. Imagine walking in that locker room and having to perform.
And then every WCW guy that ever went over there was just fucking buried.
Except for
Like, they were
the occasional
fucked over.
Jericho, but
They all were. They were all fucked left, right, and centre. Booker T was fucked over. Goldberg was fucked over. Steiner was fucked over. Fucking NWO were fucked over. They were all fucked over.
He's
So
basically Triple H
Jericho-
video pack.
DDP.
Jericho got buried pretty hard by becoming the first undisputed champion. You're right about that, but
Jericho was more of a mid-card guy that was still getting better.
they had more reason to bury him than anyone. But yeah, so I always don't like that argument because not every WCW guy got buried, like Guerrero and Benoit. But
yeah, but they came in. I'm talking about like once WCW was purchased, like
once
obviously-
the invasion angle started.
yeah,
well, that's because it was in an invasion angle where it was WWE versus the rival. So of course they were going to get buried.
I'm talking about like when fucking eventually Goldberg came over and Steiner came over and
Well,
But
regardless,
the difference is people like Jericho and Eddie and Benoit, they weren't WCW guys in the sense that they were the big stars in WCW. They were buried in WCW, and WWE wanted them because they knew they were good talents and they could make them bigger than they were in WCW. But when you get all these older guys like Steiner and all that coming over during Invasion, Vince obviously wanted to make it look like WWE was better.
but
Well, I
back
love
to
how
the
we're-
streak.
yeah, I love how we're avoiding this next match at all costs, but we're gonna talk about it now. Fuck it. It was the Divas Invitational matchup, something to do with Vicky Guerrero. The crowd didn't care. I didn't care. I was talking to my housemate about the fucking result of the last match, but apparently AJ Lee defeated everybody else.
Yeah, she made Naomi tap out to the Black Widow. This match, it started out a horrendous match, just like I knew it would.
Yeah.
When you put 14 divas, WWE divas, in the same ring, it's bound to be a mess. And it was. But in the last, 2 minutes... No, not 2 minutes. It lasted 2 minutes. In the last, 45 seconds of the match, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. It picked up, like when the Bella twins did the tope out the ring, and then they wanted to fight each other.
Yeah.
And then everybody did their own kind of moves, except for Eva Marie, who ran away.
I love that part, by the way.
And, I think Naomi did the whole I'm going to put my ass in your face move, and then the Black Widow happened, and then, that was it.
I wish they did more with Tamina turning on AJ. They could have built that up to something a bit more important.
I thought she was going to do the Superfly Splash. Was I the
Yeah,
only
and
fucking
then she
person
got-
who's like, oh my god, she's going to do it at WrestleMania, and it's like, lol, no.
Yeah, Naomi
Correct.
pushed her off. Now, obviously, there's not much to talk about with this invitational. Can we talk about what happened as far as the Divas division goes the next
Yes.
night on Raw?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Because a certain someone debuted on Raw.
That name is no longer blacklisted on the show.
Absolutely. She's no longer P-Lady. We can call her Paige, because that's her name.
Yes.
And she's the new Divas fucking champion.
Yes.
I didn't like this. I liked it because it was the post-WrestleMania Raw and the crowd were into it and she came out and she got a pop. But I didn't like it. I think she was a bit clunky on the microphone. I didn't really understand why she was there. She said she wanted to congratulate AJ, but I didn't really get the sense of where she was coming from. Does she like AJ? Does she look up to AJ or not? I just thought it came out of nowhere. And I'm worried. Wait. I'm worried that after the post WrestleMania Raw, we're just gonna have silence, and people are like, "Who the fuck's this?"
No, because people know who Paige is. But as I'm only guesstimating here because I've not seen that much NXT. But I think on previous episodes of NXT, whenever AJ and Paige see each other, there's like a kind of mutual respect between them. But obviously, since AJ's fucking victory went to her head, she went nuts the next night on Raw. But I think one of the major complaints I've heard about this segment is that Paige kind of seemed out of character because she was very like apologetic to AJ, and she was like, "No, I'm not. I don't really want to fight. I'm not really ready."
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I didn't get where she was coming from. It would have been better if she came down and was more kind of like, "I'm going to kick your ass." But
Yeah.
Also, another thing, who comes out to a ring wearing wrestling gear saying, "Oh no, I'm not ready to wrestle, sorry."
That was a bit weird.
You came dressed for the event, why are you not, taking part?
Yeah. I came here hoping someone would invite me to a match, but not actually.
I was just hanging about backstage in my wrestling gear,
Hoping
Well,
no
you
one
do,
calls
right?
me out for it. But
I kind of like
and
the idea
also-
of like the kayfabe that wrestlers just wear their attire literally everywhere they go.
Yeah.
At
And
the
also
airport, Starbucks,
yeah.
toilet, anywhere.
And there's the weird thing where like, why would AJ see this NXT diva come out and congratulate her and be like, "Bitch, want to fight for my title?" It's like, what? But just the fact that Paige is the Divas champion now, that's cool. And the crowd reaction was amazing.
I liked it as a moment, but like I said, I just don't think it's just typical lazy WWE booking. Like, oh, we're introducing somebody new, give them the title. They did it with like Gail Kim. It just shows you how kind of worthless the women's division is. I think they just don't give it enough thought. Like, they could have built it up a bit more, maybe. Like, I just don't think it really made sense. But I'm happy that she's the champion because I know she can wrestle, and we're actually going to get some decent matches between them. But I'm just not sure it was the right way to do it. And like I said, I don't like the post-WrestleMania Raw is a hell of a lot different than all the other crowds. I'm not sure she's going to quite get the same kind of reaction as she did.
Yeah, because Bad News Barrett had a match, and he got like the biggest pop of the night, which was insane. So you're right, the crowds are extremely different. But I put some money on the fact that Paige will probably be fine as far as the crowds go.
Yeah. Because at least you guys have the bloody network where you can watch NXT, for Christ's sake. I mean, we're like,
Yeah.
who the fuck is this fucking person? And then she got and won the belt. And it's like, oh, she's British. Oh, that's great, but I can't watch her because I don't have your fucking network.
All the other women, though, they've got to be starting to worry about their positions because there's kind of like a new generation of women that can actually wrestle, and then there's these other people.
Worried.
These other people
They should
hanging
be
on.
freaking worried. The Bellas and Eva Marie should be freaking worried. They're in a wrestling company and they can't wrestle. They should be
Bellas
worried.
can wrestle. What's wrong with you?
Brie can wrestle.
Brie
Nikki
can wrestle.
cannot. Nikki
Oh.
cannot.
I get confused. They look the same except for the size of their breasts.
There's
I don't
Brie and
fucking-
Bryan, and then there's Cena and the cunt.
They are twins. I get confused. Okay.
But breaking news for SmackDown, if you've been following social media, you'll know that Summer Rae has broken up with Fandango, and they've
Oh,
now
oh my God.
put Layla with Fandango, and she's obviously a real life
What?
she's a real life
What?
dancer.
Oh my god! I just suddenly got the biggest boner in history.
Oh my god.
So if she was worrying for her spot, at least she can be a dancer now.
Oh my god! I'm so glad. Why am I the only one happy with this?
Yes!
I thought Layla died.
She's alive and she's not a fucking tree.
I thought she just died like last year. Am I confusing her
alive.
with someone? Or
Yes, you're absolutely confused.
Not a
I think
tree,
she was
but-
off TV because someone in her family died, but
Jesus Christ, Sam! You are on here for like what, an hour? God almighty. Sam.
in my defense, a lot of people are dying recently, so you can understand my confusion.
I thought Layla
You
died.
you Liam in disguise.
Yeah, this is it. I can see his Skype picture, right? But it ain't fucking him. It's Liam, and he's put on like a different voice changer to make him sound like Sam. but it ain't fucking Sam at all.
Yeah,
It's
Sam
fucking
never
Liam.
existed. It's just Liam's online troll.
It's just like a catfish, but really, really
It's
like.
me, Austin.
First episode of the editorial is gonna be actually Liam walking up with a Sam face mask, and then he rips it off. He's like, "Bitch." I don't know.
It was
how
me,
did you
Andy.
know?
It was me all along.
Anyway.
Oh God.
Well, you just spoiled
Oh.
the first episode. Thanks for that.
Oh, that was a good
I
laugh.
think I just woke up everyone on the street. And
Oh my God.
oh well.
I
fuck
needed
it.
a laugh like that. Thank you, Brooks.
Hi. Oh,
we
okay.
might as
So
well
she's
move on.
alive,
Quite quickly.
and that's nice.
Anyway, that's been the Divas division.
Let's move on quickly and swiftly. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship match as Daniel Bryan defeated Randy Orton and Batista to become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And good God, was this overbooked. Triple H pulled out the referee to keep Bryan from winning the match and then tried to attack Bryan with a sledgehammer. Bryan hit him over the head with a fucking sledgehammer. And then Bryan appeared to be stretching out, where he had like a Mick Foley moment, and he was like, "Fuck you, I'm not gonna fucking stay on the stretcher." So like, okay, fine, Bryan, have it your way. Have a Batista bomb and net breaker, because that's not an RKO. Sorry. And Orton nearly fucked up his back on a monitor, and then Bryan was like, "I'm not dead, motherfuckers."
Yeah,
And then hit the knee on Orton. And then, from what I remember, he put the yes lock on Batista to become the new heavyweight champion. Everyone shouts, yes, yes, yes. And two random people were in the ring that no one explained. And confetti went off, and you couldn't see anything. And that was WrestleMania.
I think the two people were his sister and niece.
Yeah.
There we go. I wish someone said something.
The
I
funny
wish I-
thing, though, the spot where he went through the table was brilliant, but everyone's worrying about Orton because he landed on his back and then his back's bleeding, and they stretcher Bryan out, and you just get this feeling like Bryan's pretending and he's going to come back and win, but Orton's in fucking pain right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Kudos
Batista
to
starts
Orton.
beating. Orton literally took the worst of that bump, and Batista starts beating the shit out of him, and Bryan's the one getting rushed to the hospital.
It's the thing that I don't get, right? So, Bryan goes through the fucking table. Orton breaks his back nearly on a monitor whilst Batista is knackered 5 minutes into the match. What the fuck?
That aside, I liked this match. I thought it was a good triple threat for what it was, and
It
for
was
who
good.
was in it.
Yeah,
For having
I thought the
Batista and
crowd.
Orton in
I
it?
thought the crowd was still a bit dead after the Undertaker business, but
Yeah.
they did
they
manage.
started
They did
picking up.
manage to pull it back and actually get people into it. And I thought it was brilliant.
I thought
That's-
I was
that's-
actually worried about that too, with Undertaker losing and the crowd just going silent. Were they really going to be able to get people back into the main
Apparently,
event?
some people walked out and didn't even
That's
stay.
bullshit. Like,
Damn.
fuck off. Did anyone leave?
Really?
Wow.
What a
Wow.
wank. Who would leave? Oh, the Undertaker lost. Shut up. It's
Obviously,
fake.
people
it's not
that
real.
obviously
Yeah.
people that have a lot of money and don't care about WrestleMania tickets. Because I
Yeah,
would-
you paid a. You've
Like
paid
the
what,
older
a grand
fans,
to
who the
fly over?
only person on the card they knew was the Undertaker.
Well,
but-
why did they go to it then, idiots? I mean, like, seriously, you've paid a grand to be there, and just because the Undertaker has lost, you're gonna walk out and think it's the worst show of all time?
Yeah, I guarantee you, none of those people who walked out were wearing yes shirts. They were all
Idiots.
slightly older fans who were simply there for the Undertaker. But again, I like this triple threat for what it was and for who was in it. I mean, I couldn't enjoy half of it because I was just having a heart attack 90% of the time. Because I thought at any point they were going to pull something stupid.
Oh yeah. Oh god. As soon as Triple H came out, we were like, oh god, please no. God.
yeah, and then
no.
Stephanie
God, no,
twisted
no.
her ankle by falling over.
Also,
It's like, oh.
Stephanie. Damn. But yeah, like fucking. God, what the fuck? Seriously, when he
So-
came out, I was like, "That's it. I can't take this
do we
anymore."
think that has Triple H redeemed himself in your eyes, or is
Yes.
this just oh, he had to do this because,
I suppose you're talking to me.
well, whoever.
I've been the loudest about this whole shit.
Has he redeemed himself?
Yeah, slightly. Not entirely, because you know he's still going to be the focus of the next months of programming. But, I mean, Bryan is the champion. He did lose to Bryan in the opening match. He did get hit by his own sledgehammer by Bryan. So it's obvious that they know what they're doing at this point. I'm so sick of seeing him.
Yeah, well, get used to it. It's going to be a thing now. But this was the first WrestleMania that was also not strictly completely in charge by Vince. So this WrestleMania was actually really good. So, is Hunter all that bad?
Did anyone read the recent article by Forbes where they interviewed Vince? He's not even sure that a McMahon's going to run the company in the future. He was so kind of flippant about, where the company's going. It could just, go to anybody. Oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder.
If I can't run it, no one else can. Like, he just shuts down the doors and like, that's it, I'm done now. Fuck off. WWE's gone. Like no,
the day he's about to die, it's like, no more.
Because technically, eventually, it probably will go to other people because it's a public company. There are investors. Other people can buy into it.
Quick, we need to buy shares now. Damn it!
It's not like Vince tomorrow could just say, "Oh, I'm closing the company." It's not exactly his anymore. He has to answer to other people.
Is it possible that maybe like Vince can step down as being the chairman and appoint somebody else to be the new CEO, but he could still stick with the company as being like an advisor role, kind of like Bill Gates is with Microsoft?
That's most likely to happen.
As long as they don't put him in like the creative team, then it shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Russo, you're taking over.
No, Carmine. Don't say these things. Stop being silly.
But I guess we can talk about overall what we thought of WrestleMania, right?
Best pay-per-view since WrestleMania 17. Yeah, I said it.
Agreed.
Shut up.
I agree with that statement too. Personally, with the Undertaker losing, I thought that kind of hurt the event a little bit going after it because I thought going into this WrestleMania, Undertaker really wasn't going to do anything like break the streak and pull our hearts and minds to it because this WrestleMania was technically all about Daniel Bryan and his rise to fame, and they figured, okay, maybe that would take away from Bryan's spotlight a little bit, but I guess it didn't hurt it too much.
I actually thought the opposite was the case because, like you said, this WrestleMania really was just about Daniel Bryan for the most part. And I thought maybe the Undertaker would want to fade out. It's like, stop making WrestleMania about me so much. Look at this guy. Maybe that's what I thought too. That's why I was so easy to predict that Taker was going to beat him. Definitely going to beat him this year. But
it makes this show seem more memorable.
In years to come, I think we're going to look back at this point as, well, Triple H has already said it, this is the reality era. This is the start of a new generation. Undertaker's phased out. Who's really left that's from the Attitude Era now? This is the beginning of something new. We've got all this new talent that's actually over. The fans are into the Shield. They're into Bray Wyatt. It's something like he's finally...
Everyone's already excited for Bo Dallas.
No, they're not. Stop saying
Yes, they
things.
are.
I'm
They're
not.
so excited.
I'm not.
I think they've finally kind of found their new... I'm not going to say Attitude Era. I don't know how to phrase it, but it's
the next big era.
It's not that boring John Cena era anymore, where they keep doing the same old booking techniques. They keep trying to force the same old people down our throats. It's different. Something's happened. There's been a change in philosophy somewhere.
It's like the passing of a torch.
Yeah.
It's the changing of the guard, because you look at Bryan winning, you look at the Shield winning, and you got to look at who they beat, right?
Yeah.
Cesaro beat Big Show, start of the Attitude Era. The Shield destroyed Kane, destroyed the new Age Outlaws, Attitude Era.
The Cena era. The Cena era kind of got beat by Bryan.
Yeah, what happens to Cena going forward? Because he's just not. He's not really in the main event. He's not. It's like he doesn't fit anymore. He's not.
He's gonna be that guy who has matches with people like Bray Wyatt to show the rest of the world, hey, this guy actually can do awesome shit. Because that was awesome.
But it's like the Undertaker's been around forever and ever and ever, and so is Kane. I think Cena will just be that guy that's just going to be around and not really do a great deal. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a part timer in like a year or two.
Are we still talking
He
about Cena?
just, yeah, I don't see him being around that much longer. Because what else has he got to do now? What
mean-
new feuds can he have? What fucking?
I don't know about new
nothing then.
feuds. I don't know
Go
about
back
new
to the US
feuds.
title.
Ooh, what?
Take it off
He
of
doesn't-
Dean Ambrose, who doesn't wear the belt anymore.
Yeah,
for
it's
some
about
reason.
time they unified those titles and just got done with it because it's just getting stupid. Just put the
I still
IC
wanna
and
see
US title together.
He
I
wasn't
still
even
wanna see
wearing the
that.
belt on Raw. He's been champion for nearly a year. What is?
I
What?
swear they brought this up in storyline. It's just like you haven't even defended the fucking belt. in
Yeah,
4
it was
months.
like
How the fuck is that happening?
he just doesn't want to. Like, oh, all right.
At least he
Reigns-
wore it for some of the
Yeah.
days. Now it's just like, oh, where is it? In the trunk of my car. Why? No one can beat me there.
Because I'm crazy, but
What happened to the good old-fashioned 30-day title defense clause
yeah.
that they do for all the other titles, but they don't
Even
do for this one?
Langston. Even Langston hasn't
Langston
defended
and the
his belt.
Usos.
Well, the Usos defended their belt at WrestleMania, and
Right.
Langston didn't. Like, that was the one thing. When I heard Langston was in the Battle Royal, I was like, nah, I'm not crazy about that. Why isn't he defending his belt?
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
the way it's
usually-
booked, the IC title should have been on, like, Bray Wyatt or John Cena, rather than...
Well, it's funny you say Bray Wyatt, because on the next night on Raw, they had a 3-on-3 match with the Wyatts versus, like, Cena, Sheamus, and Langston. And Bray pinned Langston. If they wanted to, they could pursue a feud there. And that would be cool.
They've really lost faith in Langston, though. I hate it when they do that. They give someone a belt, they push them, because they don't get over like The Rock instantly. Then they're just like, oh, we'll book Langston to lose, and then he can face the person who he lost to. He's got the IC title. He's supposed to be this dominant force. If you made the wrong decision, then have him lose the title and give it to someone else. Don't just make it look worthless.
Yeah,
It's not like Big E's shit or anything. He's actually pretty
he's really
agile.
good. He's really good. I
the
like
fact-
him.
I like the fact that on Raw they were shitting all over the baby faces, and they were booing Cena, and they were booing Sheamus, and they were booing Langston, and then Langston got, I think it was Rowan, and gave him like 3 backbreakers in a row, and nearly killed
Yeah.
himself doing it, and then the crowd got behind him, and he actually won them over again. So
Yeah.
I think
Well, the only reason they were booing him in the first place is because they were just so, like, for the Wyatts. Like, Harper got tagged in, and they fucking exploded. So once Langston showed, hey, remember I'm good? They're like, oh, yeah, you are good, so we'll cheer you.
And Sheamus definitely needs to turn heel now. He's when I
Sheamus
look
is
at
just
Sheamus,
annoying.
I see Cena. It's the same kind of just
Fella!
too happy and just too much of a good guy in a fake way. Just
What even
Yeah.
is his gimmick now? He's
I'm Irish.
His gimmick is his nationality. Like,
He's just a bellend. It's not even his nationality. It's just look at me, I'm ginger, lol. That's basically it. Like, that's literally it.
yeah, have you seen Sheamus on The Walking Dead? That army guy. He looks exactly like Sheamus.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He
oh
does.
my god,
I saw
have
the
no idea.
picture.
Abraham, right?
That's probably his name. I don't know, but yeah.
I saw a picture of him. I know who you're talking about. But Sheamus needs to turn heel. Langston needs to do something. If he doesn't fight Bray Wyatt, I think a good match would be him versus Rusev, but not until like a few months from now.
Rusev,
Rusev does
Podria.
not. No, fuck off, Rusev. Go away.
What?
Get off my
No.
you shit.
He's
no,
just as
great.
agile as Langston.
Great. What are you talking about?
He's like a bigger Langston. He's just as agile.
Yeah, I
Zangief,
quite
basically.
like Rusev. I know it's kind of one of those old gimmicks everyone groans at. Oh, he's going to squash some people. And then he's going to lose like a month later and no one's going to care. But I think he might have something there.
And I'm not gonna lie, Lana is pretty hot.
And she done
What was that sound?
topless film. She's done a topless film.
Who made that sound?
That was me.
Brooks.
Holy Sam!
I don't know what that
This
meant.
is your debut, right? This is your debut.
Yeah.
Before one diva is dead, and then another diva comes along, and I don't know what you're doing. Because
I don't know
like,
what
Hey,
that
it's
your
sound
okay.
webcam is on.
It's okay. My girlfriend would have made the same reaction as me.
I
So
don't know what that sound meant. If that
I'm
was
in the
good or
clear.
bad.
No, it was good. It was very good.
I'm scared. That
I'm
big.
so excited for the editorial now. It's insane.
What are we talking about again?
We were talking about
Tits.
Rusev, kind of.
Oh, you're right. That's what we're talking about. I don't know. I got confused.
Rusev tits.
Not Rusev tits. What's wrong with you? God,
Anyway.
this show's derailed. That's Sam.
Oh,
So
falling
should we
apart.
talk about the night after, or the Raw after WrestleMania now, since we're already kind of in it?
Yeah.
Because there were other moments we haven't brought
What
up.
else is there? Oh,
Well,
there is like there's
Cesaro.
one moment. Yeah, I was gonna say that's like the one thing I got like super excited about.
Cesaro is not a Zeb Coulter guy. He's a Paul Heyman guy.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
But the only thing that's really annoyed me about this is he's not the king of swing. Don't call him that. No. He was fine. Just leave him as Cesaro, the whatever, Swiss Superman or whatever they call him. Just
I do actually like the Swiss Superman nickname, surprisingly, even though we make fun of Cena so much with the Superman name. But
Speaking of that, the way he talks, is it just me or does he just not have an accent anymore?
he kind of
he
doesn't.
He speaks 5 different languages. I thought he was British when he first started speaking. Then it's like, oh no, he's tuning himself.
When you're that multilingual and you've been wrestling all around the world and you've been hanging out with all these American wrestlers, I guess your accent just kind of goes away.
He's kind of turning into Christian Bale in that respect.
But
Neither of them have accents.
Let's not forget
Cesaro
that.
gonna be Batman.
Let's not forget that when Kofi Kingston debuted, he had that. He did that whole Jamaican gimmick. Is like, I'm the Kofi Kingston man. And then once he started feuding with Randy Orton, it's like, boom, it was gone.
I can't be Jamaican anymore.
I'm sorry,
I can't
I'm
be
losing my
Jamaican
shit over the
anymore.
idea of Cesaro being Batman. Like he just gets the Joker in the Cesaro swing.
Yeah. One, 2. Why so serious? 3.
have you noticed how the crowd like counts about 3 spins when he's only done 1? It's like
I know,
1, 2,
that
3,
always
4.
annoys
Calm
me.
down, slow down a bit.
Actually-
It's
The
like they
OCD
can't
inside
count.
me- The OCD in my head hates every time they do that. It's like, no, he's only on swing 4. Relax.
It's like when they do 10 punch. You don't go 2, 4, 6, 8, or go fucking.
Ugh. Okay, I need to
1,
bring up that
10.
real quick because there was a moment in the Battle Royal back at WrestleMania that really, really bothered the inner OCD that I have.
Okay.
And it was because Fandango eliminated Big E Langston. And then he started celebrating, and the whole crowd started Fandangoing for like the first time in a year. While he's celebrating, Sheamus comes up and he starts punching his chest like he always does. But he goes past 10, and at first it looks like he's going to go all the way to 30 because they're at WrestleMania 30. He stopped at 27. And I wanted to die. I just needed to get that off my chest because that really bothered me.
That's his favourite WrestleMania. He's just like, fuck it, 27.
The one where he had a dark match?
Yeah, why not? He looks like a human walking, talking tampons, and what the fuck do I know?
Oh, God, no.
So anyway, moving on.
That's an
So-
image I'm never gonna get.
And then there was
Am I
the
head
closing
now?
segment. Then there was the closing segment of Raw where Daniel Bryan is still champion and the Shield is on his side.
Hooray! Are we going to see an Evolution reunion? Please, God, say no.
Well, now it's like the Authority Evolution, so
The Authorolution.
Authoritolution.
the Evolved
Evolution
Authority.
is a mystery, but it's not really. It's these guys. Stupid song.
Good
It's like
song.
Evolution featuring Kane.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kane
Because Ric
Evolution.
Flair is Ric
Kane
Flair dead?
Evolution.
I quite
Kane
like the corporate Kane character. I think that's quite cool, especially when
The fact that they actually-
when he came out and stopped Mr. T's mother of all speeches.
I'm
I
also
just
a
don't
big
like
fan
that
of Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising.
The fact that
They are one and the
like,
same, and nothing can convince me otherwise.
pretty much. But I just don't like the fact that the commentators actually call him Corporate Kane. Like that's his
Yeah.
name now. That bothers
Like-
me.
Why don't you just call him, I don't know, Kane?
You don't call him
Or
Triple H the
Glenn.
Suit.
I would have liked it though if they kind of jazzed him up a little bit, maybe give him a red suit,
Yes,
made him a
fuck
bit sort
yes.
of like who's that manager?
Brother Love?
No, he was in TNA. He was in EC Sinister Minister. What
I
was
thought you were
his
talking
name?
about the Canadian manager for a second.
It was
Yeah.
fuck. Who was it?
Father James,
James
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Man, James
He
Mitchell,
looks
right?
kind of devilish. They could have made him
Sinister
up
Minister.
a bit like that. I don't like that.
Instead of just wearing a red tie, it's just like, Maybe he
Yeah.
should come out to suit and tie instead of like his fucking actual theme song, and he just wears a red tie and starts dancing. No,
You mean the
Great.
Justin Timberlake song?
yes, I meant that. Yeah, I need to go
Uh,
out.
I
God,
would
probably.
be okay with that.
You see, I'm a fucking genius.
'Cause
Here we
it's
go.
a
This is
good
Sam,
song.
people. So
uh,
I'm gonna move on
yeah.
because I can't be asked talking about Kane dancing.
Speaking of TNA, sorry, I thought I'd just do your segue there. Carry on.
oh, we're going to TNA news immediately.
Speaking of things,
Good, go, Keelan, go.
am I doing this? now?
What?
Ooh,
What
Yes,
story are we doing? I don't know.
For
You're
those
taking the
that
fucking-
missed it during the WrestleMania News Blitz, Christy Hemme is now on the TNA creative team. She tweeted, "I am so excited to bring a female touch to the product. First day on the job and loving it. Impact Wrestling." So TNA have got their new creative genius that's going to take them into a boom period of TV ratings. Christy Hemme.
Oh, yeah. They're gonna
what
hit
does
their attitude
feminine
hard.
touch mean?
It means
Like, what
that
can that mean in this
it
kind of
means-
like,
It
environment?
means that Austin
And jump.
Aries is getting buried and
oh god, yeah. It totally does.
You put your dick in my face? Oh, congratulations. Buried. She's going to be like the female version of Triple H. She'll be like, you know what? Fuck this. No, Austin Aries, you're going to be beaten by Eric Young. I'm like, no.
Gonna be beaten by my stalker, Samuel Shaw.
Or, I don't know. This is
I don't even
Don
know
West.
who that is.
No, dude, you have to look him up. Like, I was watching one of his matches earlier, and it's like,
Don't.
remember when DDP debuted in like the WWF, and he was like the Undertaker's wife's stalker?
Yeah.
It's basically that, and it's not terrible. It's not the worst.
No,
it's something new.
Stupid.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Let's
If
just
he was
rip off
bad
every
in
TV
ring, then it
show.
would be terrible. But the fact that he has a modicum of in-ring skill is, I think it saves it a little bit.
Well, the good news is if you don't like WWE for whatever reason and you don't like TNA's stalker gimmicks, there's possibly a new federation on the rise coming soon.
Apparently, Jarrett is launching Global Force Wrestling, which the logo looks like it just came out in the 1990s, but we move on. After
And it sounds like
months
a Power Ranger series.
go on WrestlingPundit.com. After months of social media hype, Jeff Jarrett, founder of TNA, has announced the launch of a new wrestling promotion, Global Force Wrestling. Within minutes of the announcement, the official website had fucking crashed.
Yeah, that tells you
So-
that he's got a lot of investment behind this new company that he can't even afford web hosting that doesn't crash.
Yep. And the best thing is, the Global Force Wrestling expects to make several key announcements in the coming weeks. So
Not
wait.
read them because the
No,
website.
so yeah, not just that, but they expect to make more announcements, so they don't know themselves.
Maybe,
It's
maybe
like-
not.
I don't know. Well, Jeff Jarrett told some website called SBNation.com that WWE have built a brand over the last 50, 60 years, and truly WrestleMania weekend is a perfect example of just how global their brand is.
Yeah, let's
There
talk
you
about
go.
the competition straight away.
Yeah, what the fuck does this have to do with your stupid company, Jeff?
Professional wrestling has been around since the advent of television, and there is definitely room, space for a new promotion to come on the scene. And we're going to put out the very best product that we can. Our mission statement is going to be right at the very top that we are going to put out a professional wrestling product that listens to the fans, engages the fans. We are going to immerse ourselves with the wrestling fan that is going to be first and foremost.
I had
You know
I had a really scary thought about this concept because he keeps talking about listening to the fans, interacting with the fans, and all this shit. Is he gonna let the fans book the promotion? Like, this is starting to scare me. Like, are we gonna write the storylines for him?
Well,
yes.
when I hear
Oh my god, yes.
when I hear what he's saying, he's like, we're going to put out the best product we can. We're going to listen to the fans. We're going to engage with the fans, all that stuff.
It's like,
The
yeah,
first thing
duh.
I thought, well, yeah, it's like, I hope so. But the first thing I think of is that already exists. And I have 4 of their DVDs sitting right over there. It's called PWG. And it's probably going to be way better than anything you're going to put out.
Yeah, and in his press release, there's another bit to this. I don't know if you've pasted it in, but he just
I have not.
he just blithers on about social media interaction and the most interactive blah blah blah. It's like all this bullshit corporate speak that everyone hates about WWE sometimes. It's like, what are you even saying? He's not even speaking English. Like, what, you're gonna have hashtags? Well, that's just what you do now. You don't have to like pretend it's something cutting edge. Like TNA have got their new 365 24/7 nonsense where it's just a couple of videos that are uploaded through the week. Like,
And one of the first ones that I ever saw was Brooke Tessmacher twerking.
just give us a good product. You don't have to make up all this extra word salad that means nothing. Just
And literally, you don't want the fans to book this, because if you've seen my WWE 2K14 game, I literally have a character by the name of Disco Dave. He's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. You don't want me to book this crap, okay? Because I'm not going to take this shit seriously. You'll be like, you ran TNA, it was crap. You're going to run this, it's going to be crap. So you know what? If it's going to be crap, let me make it super crap, and then we'll just see what the fuck happens.
And another thing that someone has to tell these people is that while they're working on fixing their website, they might want to consider a new name. Because Global Force Wrestling does not sound like
Have you heard about
anything.
the new roster?
A new roster? They had an old roster?
Well, yeah, they have a new roster. They have the Red Ranger, the Blue Ranger, the Green Ranger, the Black Ranger, the
you
Pink
son of a
Ranger, the
bitch.
Yellow Ranger.
You son of a bitch. But it's a stupid...
The
It's a
logo
stupid
is so
name.
bad. The
logo's
logo is
terrible.
bad.
The name's
and
terrible.
just to show you how Jeff Jarrett is going to take a back seat, it's not going to be all about him and Karen. They're going to book this and make new stars, and they're just going to sit in the background while all this happens. If you go to the Global Force Wrestling store, they've already got photos of Karen and Jeff that you can buy.
Isn't that like the only thing in the store right now?
No one's buying that. Don't.
Who wants an 8x10 of Karen Jarrett?
And his face is everywhere. He's like in a suit, and like on every page there's Jeff Jarrett smiling. It's like, no, just take a step back. And
I made this analogy in the Supla chat when we were talking about this earlier. It's as if that's like if when the WWE first started and the WWE shop first launched, if the only things that were immediately available were 8x10s of Vince and Linda. Just think of how stupid that is, and that's how stupid this is.
I hate this. I had so much hope for this piece of crap. Why do I have hope for this fucking dickhead? I don't care. Like, the logo's bad, the name's bad, your website looks like it was done on fucking free webs. What the fuck is happening?
The only thing I'm legitimately concerned about with this company is the actual roster, which is apparently going to be compromised of talent that we've not seen before. So there could be some gems in there somewhere.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of a roster of people we've never heard of, but at the same time it worries me because the Indies is not all the Eddie Edwards and the AJ Styles that people are used to. There's a lot of CZW level wrestlers in the Indies, and if that's going to be their roster, I'm out. I'm immediately out.
And we don't even know. We don't even know if they're going to get television. We don't know. All this is really it's just the indie fed right now without a roster.
Yeah, how are they going to show their products?
They have this whole boner for social media. All of their matches will be 7 seconds long, and they'll post them.
This is going to be Vines.
Yeah, this is what I worry
Half
about.
of the matches will be pinballs.
He talks about social media and interaction, and I don't like the way this is going. WWE has their network. There's all this programming. You can't keep up with it. TNA have got all these stupid, pointless videos. If you want to actually get into the product, you have to fucking click on YouTube and scroll to Twitter and all this bullshit. I hope he doesn't do anything like that. I hope it's not, oh, we've got this match here and we've got that match there and oh, there's a new video. I don't want to have to work to keep track of everything. Just give me a 1 hour show every week. put it online, put it on YouTube so I can just easily get to it. 1 hour, nothing else, no extra bullshit. Don't swamp me with all sorts of social media crap. Just give me one decent product once a week. Just do that.
And if you can't afford a TV deal, I give you all the permission in the world to steal the PWG method of we're going to sell DVDs and we're going to give you a preview of every show. There you go.
Or just do it live on YouTube.
Or that.
Hello?
Like a live stream or something like that.
Yeah, just do it live. Just fucking do it live and have sponsors or something.
And something tells me that he's not actually got any decent financial backing, because if Toby Keith was involved, he'd be in the press release and they'd be screaming it from the rooftops. I don't think this is what he was kind of making it out to be. Everything's unprofessional. I think this is just something that he's doing himself.
Yeah. I never had any hope for this. I don't know where your hope came from, Andy. It's just Jeff Jarrett wrestling promotion. As soon as I heard that, I was like, all right, it's going to suck.
I don't know. I just want something else other than TNA. So I'm just like,
well,
fucking anything.
WWE's finally pulling their head out of their ass, so.
Yes, I know, but having 2 is good. Having 1 is not so great. Competition, goddammit.
Well, I don't know. Is Ring of Honor doing any better? I don't even know how to watch Ring of Honor.
They have Kevin Steen.
They do have Kevin Steen. How do you watch Ring of Honor anyway? I have no clue.
You have to.
No idea.
You have to
can
register.
sign up to their website. Yeah.
They even make it difficult just to watch the free TV show online. It's like, it's free. Don't make me fucking register and go through all this bullshit. Just put it on a YouTube channel. Simple.
It's really not difficult.
Anyway, is there any other news we got to talk about?
The WWE Network reaches over 60. No, fuck that up already.
60 people have signed up.
They got 64 subscribers.
That's it. That's the
subscribers.
WWE Network. No, the WWE Network reaches over 600,000 subscribers. How I got 60, I don't know. I'm tired, okay? The WWE... It's like nearly 11 o'clock here, okay? WWE Network is on track to have fucking 1 million subscribers. In a press release, their total number of subscribers is... Oh god, 667,287 subscribers, and it's well on its way of reaching its goal of 1 million subscribers by the end of 2014, just 42 days after launching in the US, making it the fastest growing digital subscription service. Blah 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 corporate bullshit.
Yeah, now you've got to keep them subscribing each 6 months.
6 months. And this is something I learned because I just got the network after Raw, realizing that Daniel Bryan was still champion and nothing stupid happened. That was my only thing. That was the only reason I hadn't gotten it. Now that I have it, when I signed up, I realized they make it sound like you sign up and there's an initial 6 month commitment. Then after that, at any point, any month, you could cancel it. That is not actually the case. It goes on a 6 month renewal system. Every 6 months, you get renewed for another 6 months.
What?
I always thought it was strange how they phrase it to begin with. It's $9.99 a month, but no, it's not really, because you can't have it for a month. You have to have it for 6.
Yeah, it's basically like, I don't understand why they don't just say like, because it's weird. It's a weird system. Like, we're gonna go every 6 months. You're gonna resubscribe. It's like, what? Why not just do a monthly thing so that your $9.99 a month makes fucking sense?
Yeah, because I think what they've done was, it's $60, but for 6 months it's 10 quid a month, but you have to pay $60. Well, then it's not £10 a month because you're making me pay up front.
Yeah,
it's
they're basically ensuring that they've still got that WrestleMania pay-per-view sort of price. How much is WrestleMania in America?
It went up the last couple of years. It used to just be 60 like everything else. Then one year it was like 75.
Typically, it's $55 for standard definition and $65 for HD.
And then, like, I think it was WrestleMania 29. It was like $75.
Like, bullshit. We're not paying for that.
Probably the most pirated WrestleMania ever.
I did. I'm not gonna lie.
What I also think's interesting is they're making a big deal about how the numbers are going to jump even further when they take it international. But there are a hell of a lot of people from the UK and all around the world that already have the network. They're just using proxies and whatever to access it. So when it comes to launching in the international market, all those hardcore fans are already part of the subscriber base. They're already part of the numbers. So it might be a case where not many people actually subscribe from different countries because they're already subscribed.
And also, in the United States, right, WrestleMania's been and gone. So the main selling point for the fucking network was you get WrestleMania for $10, right? Well, okay, you get all the other pay-per-views for $10, but Mania's been and gone. That's like that would be the highest grossing pay-per-view normally in the entire year. So what the fuck are they going to do now?
You know what they're going to do? On Raw, Michael Cole's going to plug the network, and he's going to be like, hey, did you miss WrestleMania? Well, you can watch it now on the network.
I think that's probably why they did the, is it 5 or 6 month commitment? Because even if you're burnt out and you don't really care anymore because WrestleMania's over, then you get SummerSlam and you get, so they're hoping that you're going to keep rolling on because there'll be something else coming just as your subscription is going to expire.
Yeah. They got to start pushing the other shows that are on there, because very rarely do they actually talk about the fact that you have this humongous archive of stuff. And there's NXT, there's all these original shows. I haven't watched any of that stuff yet. But
yeah, they barely even plug it on the shows. They don't even say, like, this is what we got, this is cool, this is coming up tomorrow, whatever. Yeah, they don't even do that.
All they've plugged is WrestleMania 30 and Legends House. It's like, really?
It's almost as if they know that it's just filler content.
Their marketing team needs to be completely fired.
I must admit, I did watch like WrestleMania Today and a few of those shows, and it really was just crap, just filler, just people rambling, trying to make WrestleMania sound important. Like, it wasn't really. There was some good bit. The countdown shows are good, and the WrestleMania rewinds where you can kind of get a proper sense of why certain matches are important and stuff back in the day. But some of it is blatantly just nonsense filler.
But even, like, yeah, they can plug the fact that even if the network was just a subscription to get the pay-per-views live, it's an amazing deal. Sure, they could plug that. But you also have to plug the fact that there's so much more than that. There is a humongous archive of every WCW, ECW, and WWE pay-per-view going back to, like, 1985. That's insane.
They're even uploading old episodes from ECW on syndicated television from like 1993.
Like, they gotta plug some of this stuff, man.
Why are they not plugging this stuff? I don't get it.
I think part of it is,
about like ECW stuff, I'd totally buy it.
I think part of it is they've got so much content, they don't know how to make it sound important. Like, what they need is to get a shitload of consultants, like a few people from the original ECW that lived through that time, people from the territories that lived through that time, to tell them that this chunk of programming was an important time in our company, like back in Mid-South Wrestling in 1980, whatever. We had this really awesome run of TV shows, and then it built up to this event. And they can give you, like, blocks of important programming. I just don't think they really realise what they can market it, because there's just so much to go through. Imagine having to sit there and just go through all this content. Like, there's so much.
I know what you mean, but when you say bring in an ECW legend to advocate this stuff, the first thing I think of is the fact that Hogan, almost every time he shows up, is just talking about the network. And it's like, you should get the network, brother, because it's the greatest thing ever, brother.
You should buy the WWE Universe for $9.99 a month, brother.
At the Silverdome, brother. But, like...
WWF.
So, like, I know what you mean, and that's much better than what Hogan does, but they got to be careful because that's a thin line. Overall, I mean, like, I'd like to see the rate at which people have been subscribing to the network, because, like, they say they're well on their way to reaching 1 million, and they're going to hit 1 million before the end of 2014. It's just I don't know how soon that's going to be, because I don't know the rate at which it's going. Is it starting to plateau? Did it spike all of a sudden? Like, I don't know.
Here's the next question now. At the end of the year, how many of those subscribers are they actually going to keep?
That's true. How many people?
Let's say, okay, I've gone through all my historical content on the network throughout the year, and I'm already bored of all the other crap that's on here. I really don't want this anymore.
Yeah. How many people are going to not renew after the first 6 months?
I would say probably a quarter. Like, that's just my guesstimation, but there's only so much, like, wrestling you can consume before you're like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah, that's
Once
why.
you've seen WrestleMania 17, half the internet wrestling fans are like, I'm done.
Something
I've
I
actually never seen WrestleMania 17,
Oh my god.
so that's one I gotta. That's one I got on my
I
list.
don't want to talk to you anymore.
Well, I know some of the matches. I've just never seen them.
You disappoint me, Carmine.
I'm not
There's
angry,
nowhere to
I'm
watch
just
it other than the
disappointed in
network.
you.
You bring shame to the Antonelli family.
I've been trying to find it. I've never found WrestleMania 17 anywhere. But now that the network's out, I can watch it.
Something I
That's
didn't consider before the network was the amount of editing that they've actually had to do on things like the old ECW, where they can't have the music because Paul Heyman never got the rights. And when you watch that back, it's just not the same. Like, as a wrestling fan, I want to watch something exactly as it was back in the day. I've actually got, like, practically every Monday Night Wars show there ever was, every ECW TV there ever was, and every, like, pay-per-view and event, because I've got it from torrent sites and stuff. But that is exactly how it was back in the day. If you have this dodgy dubbed over music and commentaries change, and it just doesn't have the same feel. I think some people are going to be a bit ticked off when they actually realise that.
Speaking of like edits and stuff, who here has the network, first of all?
I think it's just me and Glenn.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, I know the first thing that I would do if I got the network was, like, go to the Chris Benoit matches. How edited are those?
I haven't actually watched any yet.
I haven't either. The only thing I've watched on the network so far is WrestleMania 30 because I had to rewatch it.
I'm pretty sure they're not edited in the sense that you get all the matches. I'm not sure whether perhaps some of the commentaries cut where they're overly sort of gushing over him, but...
Now, Glenn, I wanted to ask you. I'm not too familiar with the content on the network yet. Have they started uploading episodes of Raw?
They have uploaded episodes of Raw going back from the beginning of 2012 all the way up until the episode before the Royal Rumble. And then they have a couple historical ones that they put on there, like the first episode of Raw. Then they had the one where Vince McMahon buys WCW, and then there's the one with Austin driving the beer truck into the arena before WrestleMania 15. But that's pretty much it.
Because once they start
as far
uploading...
as any recent episodes of Raw that have happened since the network launched, they haven't put any of them up yet.
Because once they start uploading... If they can get a grip on uploading recent stuff, and then also once they start uploading Attitude Era stuff and like the Monday Night Wars, if they can get that stuff up there, that's the next thing they have to push like crazy.
I always used to wonder why they never did reruns of Attitude Era Raws and stuff just on regular television. And part of me thought maybe they just don't want to remind people that it was so much better back then than it is now.
Yeah. But I mean, with the network having all the pay-per-views, that theory goes out the window.
The only actual rerun of Raw that you get on television over here in the States is you get... I think they still do WWE AM Raw on, like, Saturday night at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and it's like they chop out a lot of it.
They cut it short. They cut it short, too. It's basically the same version you get on Hulu, if you got that.
The fuck is a Hulu?
They only show the important matches and segments, and it's only like an hour long. But that's the only... Yeah, he's right. That's the only way you can catch a rerun of any Raw over here. So, it's... Hopefully they start doing that on the network. But overall, there have been some playback issues, but for the most part, it's pretty good so far.
I think the major playback issues happened right when the network was launched and they were having their typical buffering issues. But when I went back and watched WrestleMania on my PlayStation, it was crystal clear HD throughout the entire show.
Yeah, I've had some issues with the not live stuff. Like when I rewatched WrestleMania, there were times where like I don't know if it was buffering or what, but sometimes it would skip like 2 seconds at a time. It was really weird during the opening segment with Hogan and The Rock and Austin, because like The Rock would be in the middle of a sentence and then it would skip to like 2 seconds later in the same sentence. And it's like, this is really bothering me. Why is this doing this?
I just
So,
realised
not
we
only did-
never talked about that.
Because it was a nothing. There was so much nothing.
So wait,
It
so
was
not only,
WrestleMania.
so, wait. So on your WWE Network, not only did Hogan fuck up where they were, to you he just kept saying "Silver, brother." That's literally all he kept
No,
saying.
nothing Hogan ever said got cut off. It was mostly The Rock, which was really weird.
Also, wait a minute. I don't understand how he fucked that up. Like everywhere, like you could see on the cameras, it said Mercedes-Benz Superdome everywhere, right? How in the fuck did he just not look up and go, oh?
He
fuck,
did
I'll
an
do
he did an interview and said that just before he went out, he was talking to the press about slamming Andre in the Silverdome, so he had it on his mind,
Yeah.
or he's just senile.
Yeah,
I
I wouldn't be
think it's
surprised
that.
if his brain
probably
capacity
both.
is like the size of a broken eggshell at this point.
But didn't he get it wrong again? Mocking himself, but he called it the Sky Dome, and it's like, no, it's not the Sky Dome either.
I didn't see that. That might have happened.
No, I
but
didn't hear that part.
He
I
got
wouldn't
it
have been surprised
wrong.
if he called it like the Dimmer Dome at some point.
It's like every kind of dome. It's
Dome.
like,
There you go.
The
Millennium
I never thought I'd hear the
Dome.
word Dimmadome. Yeah, he got it wrong like twice, and the crowd was almost about to throw stuff at him, and then he corrected himself.
did you see
Like
the
15
sign?
times.
See the
That
sign
Aust-
on Raw where it was like Hulk Hogan's cue card, and they held it up.
Yeah.
My brain is broken. Don't worry.
So
I got to piss.
Undertaker, Ultimate Warrior, Network, and WrestleMania, and Glenn has to pee. So
yeah, and the
And
other
the
warrior died.
and Layla's not dead.
And I am here now, so you're stuck with me.
Yes, this has been
Yes.
Brooks's hilarious introduction to the Supla.
Oh, yeah.
The
Brooks,
editorial
Do we
will be
have an
coming
official
out
date when the editorial's coming out?
4 days as of this recording. It'll be coming out April 14th, correct?
Indeed, sir.
Yes, I got it right. So it'll be coming out a couple days after this video comes out, if I can get it edited within a reasonable amount of time. But yeah, the editorial is coming out the 14th. The Total Divas Review show is coming back next Sunday.
Yay.
Yay. Let's Play is always going on. Is there any news on a 5th episode of the Benoit Files yet?
I've not started it, but I would say a couple of weeks.
All right. And of course, the main show will be back in 2 weeks.
Hello,
So,
that's me.
thank
Hi.
and
That's
me.
what I do.
So, thank you, Glenn, Keelan, and Brooks for joining us on the WrestleMania edition of the Supla.
Liam sucks.
Absolutely. And we will see you all in 2 weeks on the next episode of the Supla. Bye.
What is that? He sounds like a fucking goat.